first things first. We're gonna dry our skin on bone-in chicken thighs. Okay, so you got a paper towel.
In the meantime, I'm going to pick off all of the leaves off of our herbs. We have fresh thyme, rosemary, and sage.
It's important to have the skin on and the bone in because you can get some nice browning and crispiness on the skin. And the, I guess there's no reason to have bone in, but you can't get skin on boneless chicken thighs. Okay, first thing is we gotta salt these guys. Got some salt. You're gonna salt these nice chicken thighs here. All right. It's important to get under the skin because that's where you can actually get the salt to absorb into the chicken thighs. Those are our 3 spices for this recipe.
You can use dried herbs if you want, but if possible, fresh is always better. I'm just going to cut these as finely as I can.
Alright, so these are salted and I'm going to put them aside until we're ready. It's always a good idea to wash your hands after you've handled raw meat. I'm going to go do that now.
The onion I'll be cutting into kind of slivers, and the garlic will be as fine as I can get it.
I will now be making a gin and tonic to go along with our braised sage chicken thighs. We're making 2 drinks here. I'm going to do 2 ounces of gin per person. We use 1 lime per person. And we're going to add some ice to our glasses. Feels like a school project. 3 cubes is probably good enough. There we go. Our gin and our lime is
onion, we want long slivers.
Wait, why? Why are you cutting it that way?
And that's because as the onion reduces in the pan, as you'll see later, we want them to soften and add to the couscous differently than like a minced onion, but we want actual texture from these onions.
You want to open that trash can for me?
Yeah.
Oh, only one missed. Alright, so that's it for the cocktail. Wow, that's gonna go great with our chicken. Alright, are we done prepping?
Yeah, so once everything's prepped, we can move over to the pot and start searing the chicken.
Alright, we're gonna start by searing those chicken thighs. We need some olive oil. There we go. Oh, look at that swirl. Oh yeah. There you go, nice, tablespoon or so. This bottle doesn't really pour very fast, but that's okay. Now we're gonna start by heating up our pot here. Alright, now we're gonna wait. Searing temperature.
Ooh,
Oh, sink! Everybody, we're about to sear some chicken thighs in some very hot olive oil. The hotter it is, the better crisp you're gonna get on the skin. Alright, here we go. Oh, beautiful. Skin side down. Alright, we're gonna let those sit for a while until the skin is really nice and brown. We'll get a nice shot of it when they're ready. Yeah, good. I'm gonna be using some silicone tongs on this enameled cast iron so I don't scratch it. Alright, I think our chicken thighs are done. at least browning. Look at that beautiful golden crust. We're just gonna flip them for about 5 seconds, and then we're gonna take them off. Can't hear anything because it's so fucking loud. Well, whatever. Look at those. Look at those beautiful chicken thighs. Just give them about 5 seconds. All right, it's fine, whatever. We don't want them to be cooked. We want them to still be raw in the middle. I'm gonna take them out and put them into this bowl. See? Bowl. Nice. All right. What's next?
Okay, so as we can see, now we have some wonderful fond. This brown bit on the bottom, that's all flavor. So we want to pick that up as fast as we can. So we're going to start with our chopped onions. As you stir that around, some of that fond will get picked up. And we can follow that up with a small spoonful of miso. We're going to want to stir that in as best we can. Now, these onions will need a couple minutes to soften and almost caramelize. So we're going to let this cook for just a couple minutes before we add some aromatics. Okay, so these onions are looking softened, and we are ready to add our aromatics. So for that, we have some fresh garlic, which I'll add now. And then we have some of that minced sage, thyme, rosemary. And I also have 2 bay leaves. And we're just going to stir that thoroughly until it starts to smell very strongly. Just as we can see this fond down here starting to darken, this is when we want to deglaze the pan. You can do that with stock or water, or for me I'm going to use sherry cooking wine just to add a little bit extra flavor. And as it boils, we want to scrape the bottom of the pan to try to pick up as much of that, that color as we can.
Alright, we have all of our onions and our garlic and all of our aromatics in the pot. It's all reducing now. We're now going to add just a little bit of our homemade chicken stock to the pot. At least get it a little deeper in terms of, oh god, I can't speak, liquid. And then we're just going to stir that around. We're going to wait for that to boil, and then we're going to re-add our chicken thighs to the pot and let it braise for 20 minutes. Looks like our stock here is simmering. We're just going to add all these beautiful chicken thighs back into the pot, and we're just going to cover it up, and we're going to leave it for about 20 minutes. Now, the important point here, oh Jesus, is don't want to leave these juices. These are some good juices. Just pour them back into the pot. Very good. All right, now we're going to give that a little bit of a lid here, and we're going to leave it to braise for a little while. Make sure you turn down the heat. And I think they're ready. We're going to check just to make sure. We want to have a temperature reading of above 180 because it's chicken thighs and there's a lot of connective tissue in there. And we want to make sure that that's all broken down so it's not chewy at all. Looks like we're good. We're above 180, which is good. I think we're ready to take them off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring all this nice stock and fond up to a boil. And we're going to add our Israeli couscous. This is improved couscous, otherwise known as toasted pasta. Give that a little stir. Damn it! We'll stir. Might be a little much liquid for this, but it's alright. It'll boil off. We're gonna let this come to a boil and just reduce a little bit. We don't want too much liquid on the toasted pasta. Right. Alright, we're gonna cover this pot here. We don't need we want to trap the steam and get the Israeli couscous to cook. We'll leave that for about 10 minutes and then we'll come back and check on it.
Chop some spinach. Okay, so the couscous should be done now, and we're gonna add the spinach. And it does look like quite a bit of spinach, but it will wilt down as it heats. So we're gonna cut the heat and add it all in. And as we mix, it should kind of boil down to a much smaller volume. Okay, so we're gonna start with just a small bed of the couscous on the plate.
Goodbye from the Oswald house.